And he thought that MACD was suitably complicated. That's why it's called the moving average, converging, diverging. Jerry Appel and his two sons have got more money under management than Investec, just the three of them. And a little room in a place called Derry, Maine. Stephen King writes his books just across the road. Is the JSE going to go up or down on Monday? My question to you. What do you think? Down? Young man says down. Any other? Bradley, what do you think? You're the expert. Up? Well, folks, in my pocket, I have the secret. If I can find it. I have the secret. It's a 5 rand coin. Now, on one side, there's a furry little animal. You see that? On the other side, we've got the coat of arms. Clearly, the coat of arms is going up, and the furry little animal is going down. Let's see if I can get this right. You were right. The head, it's going up. Okay? Would you trade like that? No. Okay. But I assure you, most of you are trading like that already. There's a great deal of randomness out there, I assure you. But I wouldn't like to trade like that either. So, my next question to you. Let's play and think about a special game. So, here's the game. If you can successfully predict heads or tails, and you're correct, if you bet 5 rand, and you're correct, I'll give you 10 back. Clearly, if you're incorrect in your prognosis, I'm going to take the 5. Now, you've already said that you wouldn't trade with the coin, but would you play that game? Ladies and gentlemen, that's my question to you. Would you play that game? Yes or no? Well, folks, I haven't got a lot of time to play this out. It's a cracking game to play. And it's the basis of how you can become consistent and take money from somebody else, because that's what you're doing. Because in 10 chucks of a coin, would you agree that you should be right 50% of the time? Yeah? Now, when you're right, I'm going to pay you twice as much as when you're wrong. So in 10 throws of the coin, when you're right, I'm going to pay you 5 times 2, which is 10. Yes? And when you're wrong, I'm going to remove 5 times 1, which is 5. Thus, you make 10, you make 5 profit. If you bet a rand on every time you chuck the coin in the air, on average, you're going to make 50 cents. You have now designed a positive expectancy system. So if you can find somebody to underwrite that, then Barry, that's your edge. Okay. And that is the objective, folks. Now, with the Finport guys, with GT, you should be able to get your hit rate above 50%. But if you can be right 50% of the time, and you can make twice as much when you're right as you lose when you're wrong, then you've got a method of making money for the rest of your days. And that is the challenge, to learn how to play the game over and over and over again without fear or hesitation. Okay, so it's a cracking game to play. Would you play the game? Now, in trading, the number of times that you're right is called the hit rate. And Lord only knows we're all paranoid about the hit rate. We want to be right at all costs. There are 4 trading fears. 1 is being wrong, 2 is losing money, 3 is missing out, and 4 is leaving money on the table. Those of you that are under 50 are probably in a safe place, because I know for a fact that most men over 50 are more scared of being wrong and losing money than they are of death. Okay? Am I correct? we've got the death thing all sorted out. Well, it's not the end of the world, okay? But to be wrong or lose money is an issue. So that other thing that's important in trading is the risk to reward ratio. So the money that you make is a function of both the hit rate and the risk to reward, and most of us just think about the hit rate. So 3 things. Now, if you do a search on the internet, and that's a margin call, don't take it, okay? Just don't take it. Just ignore it completely. A margin call is what happens, folks, when you run out of loot. And the lads from GT are going to phone you here and say, more money, or we close the whole bloody lot. Okay. So if you get a call, just don't take it. If you do a search on the internet, you're going to find lots and lots of systems where the vendor says that you're right 92% of the time. And they all sound wonderful. But the problem with those systems is that they've got to open up their stop losses so wide in relation to their targets that they don't make any money. And this was brought home to me a few weeks ago. And this is a chap in London who was advertising a Forex system. Somebody spoke about Forex, and he said he's right 90% of the time. Sounds wonderful, doesn't it? But when he was right in his own literature, he said this, when he was right, he makes 10 ticks, and when he's wrong, he loses 90. What's the expectancy of that system? 9 times 10 when he's right, minus 1 times 90 when he's wrong, and that means the system actually loses money. Sounds wonderful 90% of the time, but he loses money. So folks, just remember that edge is a mixture of 3 things. It's a mixture of 1, the hit rate, it's a mixture of the risk to reward, and the commissions. And there's no doubt that if you're trying to scalp a 1-minute chart, you need to be really, really good, because those commissions mount up. Every time you press the wee button, there's 3 or 4 ticks to be paid. And that's hit rate, risk to reward, and commissions. So folks, somebody mentioned the Forex market. If you buy the pound against the dollar with a 50-point stop and the target's 100 points, if you can get that right 50% of the time, you've got it made. And the only thing remaining is to learn how to play the game. And it is a game that we play with ourselves.